Do. Hello, and welcome to another episode. I can't take that serious. Anyway, um, yeah, I want to talk about ghosting today. Now, the word ghosting, to be talking to somebody and then not be talking to them. You just stop talking to them. And anyway, I'm going to talk about it more in the professional sense, not the dating sense. It's more like, to be upfront, I've been practicing my salesmanship, um, in the sense of I'm working on a project and I've been reaching out to friends. So people that have some kind of connection to me, not just complete strangers. They actually know me to some degree. And so I've reached out to them because I'm trying to collect data right now. I'm trying to learn and stuff. And I've been talking to a lot of people. And the one thing that cracks me up the most is this etiquette that I joked with, and I said, okay, people my age and older shouldn't have lost this, but they did. And so they lost this kind of etiquette where you just finish a conversation, you know? It's almost like that joke you hear that it's like when you watch a television show now and they're talking on the phone and they just hang up. And I think one movie or episode actually called it out, and it's like, man, no one says bye anymore. It's like that. Like I was talking to a lot of people and they just will stop. And I'm like, sometimes it's in the middle of the conversation, and sometimes, it faded appropriately, and then when I try to check back, it just stops. Now, disclaimer, I am fully aware of their side in the sense of like how I come across. It's like, uh-oh, are you trying to get me into a cult? Are you trying to sell me something? Are you trying to get my money? Like, what are you trying to do, right? And my argument for that, which is really, this is just funny because I'm like going, hear them out. Hear people out. Like, that's what cracks me up. Is especially now, this is what makes me laugh, is that there's a lot of people that have free time. Most of the people here have free time, and yet now they're even more busy. And so it's just odd. People are so strange. Like, here's the thing. My personality, I love to be pretty blunt as much as possible, even though you might watch these videos and go, you pause and dick around a lot. But anyway, I like to be as blunt as possible, especially when it comes to somebody wanting a favor. And so I'm doing you a service when I say, hey man, I can't help with that. Like, if you can't handle a rejection, then like don't ask for things. It's just, like, that's what I mean. So I feel like people ghost because they're so afraid of like hurting the other person's feelings, and it's just weird though. Like, the idea of ghosting is so weird. It's like, hey, let's chat, let's chat. No, let's not chat anymore. And like, we're all guilty of it. I do it to a degree, but it's just like, I try to adapt. If there's like an appropriate, like, okay, now we're just kind of yapping to yap, and there's like a fade, fine, that's the end of the conversation. But if it's like questions or and so it just cracks me up because like I've had all kinds of I have, mind you, like I'm trying to do like a help the world type questionnaire thing, and I'm keeping it vague intentionally because I want to reveal things later on in life. But anyway, and it's like I'll ask church people and they reject me, which is incredibly ironic. Um, Family have rejected me coldly. And mind you, it's not the rejection that I'm complaining about, it's the disappearing. That's what the topic is. And that's what cracks me up. It's like, just say you don't want to. Like, hear me out, digest what I'm trying to say. Don't try to assume. That's another thing I want to get into real quick. Assuming makes an ass out of you and me. ASSUME. For all those people that have never heard of that thing. Assume. But yeah, just like, if you have time on your hands, which, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people that have helped me out too, a lot. So I'm not gonna say like it's all been rejection. I've had a lot of good experiences. And the common thread is uh, the people that do help hear you, they listen to what you have to say, they ask questions, and they really get an idea of what you're trying to get at. And they'll ask things that worry them or whatever. The people that ghost, it's not a shock. They're just, they have some set thing in their head, and then they don't really hear anything else, and so then that's it. But it's the etiquette. It's being polite and all that. It's no, that's all gone. It's like, yeah, I'll talk to you. Okay, now I'm bored. Bye. It's like, I was getting to my point. I get people that are like, get to your point. I'm like, well, if I get to my point right away, people are turned off by that because I bombarded them with a bunch of information. So I try. It's like I wanna talk to you. I've had friends that try to do those things because now that we're in this like coronavirus world, they try to reconnect with friends. Okay, now's an opportunity. I have more time. Now's an opportunity to like webcam with them and stuff like that. And so I try to do that with a few people, and it's like, nope, like they don't want to talk. It's like, I just want to be Facebook friends with you. I just want to check up on your page every so often. That's it. I don't want any connection with you. It's like, oh, okay. They didn't really say that, but I'm just saying, like, okay, what's the point of Facebook if, like, it's weird when I try to connect with you eventually? One important thing I want to say, which I really feel like will help the world. And first, please watch the how to interpret a text message so that this next thing you understand. There's a video I made called, I think it's called How You Interpret a Text Message, or How to Interpret a Text Message. But yeah, just I had somebody say, or no, I read something that was like, hey, I hate it when somebody only contacts me when they want something. And to me, I was just like, I always hated that because I'm like, okay, there's ways to interpret things in life. You can either interpret it as, oh man, this person's only contacting me when they want something, or you can interpret it as, if it's not that hard of a request, why not help a human being? Like, I don't think anyone in their right mind wants to be a burden or be a problem. And so when they're asking for something, it's just help. You know what I mean? It's like, now mind you, if it's that, cliche, my uncle wants $50, like, but that goes back to like, if it's not a problem, then do it. You're helping a human being. You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird because it's like, oh, they only want, so what? Like, people all have lives and they all connect in their own weird ways. And so I try not to like judge off of how they reconnect. It's just, whatever. And so I wish, like, if anything from this video, try to do that. When somebody reconnects, just if you can do it, do it. Like, if it's hard, then don't. And then, so going back to the title of this with the ghosting, listen to somebody and then just say, I'm not interested, or I can't help you right now, or I'm busy right now, get back to me. Like, a lot of people like to do this get back to me thing. Okay, when? Like, be professional. Have an understanding of who you are and when you have free time, and say, get back to me in a few weeks, a few days, whatever. Another thing is I had a few people give empty promises. That was another weird thing. People will say they do it and then they don't. That's the weird. Now, mind you, they probably said yes at the moment just to get you off their back. Like, I'm fully aware of that, but that's what I mean by, like, don't be what I call cowardly. A lot of people that I've spoken to are cowardly. Just, like, be in control of the conversation. You don't have to answer yes or no like right away. Just go, okay, let me think about it. All right. Sure. You know what I mean? Or no, I can't help you right now. It's just so bizarre, this world that we're in, where people just get quiet. Like, grow up. I'm gonna be kind of blunt about this. Grow up. Like, come on, try to do some adult things, cause it's weird. And so, goes back to a lot of stuff. topics where it's like don't make promises you can't keep and stuff like that. But in terms of the ghosting, I think I hit it all because my point is just like have a conversation with a human being. We're in such weird times right now. Just enjoy the idea that you're talking to another human being, especially when you haven't talked to in a while. It's just so bizarre that we're so caught up on like how people should talk to you. Oh, they need to catch up to me with going, "Hey man, how's it going?" blah blah blah. And it's like not all people talk that way, or not all people, you know what I mean? Like people like to cut to the chase. Everyone's different. Stop being like offended by however they say hi to you or whatever. So, and once again, this isn't like things that I'm doing. I'm trying to like, put myself on a pedestal and being like, you guys suck and I'm the perfect. No, no, no. I'm just saying like if you want life to be less stressful and less, just BSy, then yeah, you can only control yourself. And so like I do with the how to interpret a text message, you can only interpret a message how you want to. If you're going to interpret it in an angry way or this person's that or that, you're just setting yourself up for hurt. But if you just kind of go, you stop and think and be like, okay, I kind of know that person, blah, blah. The other thing I want to talk about real quick is the rejections, oh, I don't feel comfortable giving this type of information out. Mind you, the information that I was asking for was very minimal. It was like, you know, not a social security, nothing crazy like that. And I didn't come up with this early, but I did later. It's like, okay, so I perfectly understand. You have every right to be worried about that type of information, but it's like, so you're Facebook friends with me, but you still think I'm like just shady enough. You know what I mean? Like that's what's comical. So I would like to think I don't have anyone evil connected to me. Like, and that's what cracks me up. It's like, okay, so we're Facebook friends. I could get that information anyway, the long way, um, the back end way. Uh, but I'm trying to build a connection with you and blah blah, and you don't feel comfortable, which is fine, like I said. But it's just funny because it's like, but we're Facebook friends or we're social media friends, or so it's like, okay, so I'm good, but a little bit evil, or come off shady, or I'm gonna like the whole world's evil to where like what I'm gonna instantly do is just something diabolical that screws you over. So anyway, I get it, but these people they get quiet and they disappear once they get uncomfortable. And it's like, get a backbone. This is like it's a conversation. It's not even a fight. I'm not even face to face with you. Like, it's the weirdest thing because it's like, man, you guys are scared of this. God, I can only imagine how you crack under pressure with other stuff, like crazier stuff. Because, like I said, this is just a conversation. Like, I'm just saying, like, I give them the lowdown and then I go, what are your thoughts? I try to make it as comfortable as possible without being like, you have to do this. You're evil if you don't. Like, there's no pressure. I think even a few times I'm like, no worries if you can't. Like, it just, and people are just still like, ugh. So it just cracks me up. But that's what I wanted to talk about with ghosting. So remember with the ghosting, hear a person out. Just talk to them, especially if you have the time. If you're busy, if you have any excuse right now, when you're coming up with a million excuses, I'm a parent, I'm sick, blah, then convey that. I got depression. I can't, man. I'm bummed out right now. Convey it. Like, you're only going to be keeping the right people in your life anyways. If anyone gets butthurt by that, then you don't want them anyways. So, anyway, here's my video. I hope this was informative. Enjoy it. Ta-ta.